we don't have Kyle anymore, and I'm shell shocked. I don't even know really what to say.
It is stunning. It is shocking. I mean, the fact that Kyle Busch was in victory lane 6 days ago.
It just shows you that, you know, life is precious and you got to you can't take it for granted.
This is how we grieve. The racing will go on because that is just what racers do, and Kyle Busch was the ultimate one.
And we continue to follow that breaking news tonight at 11, the motorsports community and beyond, reflecting on the shocking news that NASCAR driver Kyle Busch has passed away at the age of 41. And late tonight, the Associated Press is reporting sources say Busch became unresponsive yesterday while inside a Chevrolet racing simulator in Concord, and he was rushed to the hospital. Busch's family tonight confirming his passing in a joint statement with Richard Childress Racing just hours ago, calling Kyle a rare talent who was fierce, passionate, and cared deeply about the sport and fans. Now, this followed a statement from his family earlier today revealing that Busch had a severe illness. They did not disclose what, but they said he would not be attending the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway this weekend. And we know he was also scheduled to compete in the Craftsman Truck Series in Concord. We have team coverage tonight all across our area. Our Siobhan Riley is out at Charlotte Motor Speedway after speaking with fans. But first, we do want to start with Danielle Stein. So Danielle, we've been seeing reactions pouring in from all over from the NASCAR community.
Yeah, shock and sadness don't do the feelings that so many in the NASCAR community, and that's not going to do the feelings justice following the tragic passing of Kyle Busch. It's a unique situation being an active driver in NASCAR, bringing the outpouring from both past and present in the sport together. So many of them sharing their thoughts on social media, including Dale Earnhardt Jr. highlighting the differences they had, but the relationship that they were building in the present, largely on Kyle's part, he added. Jimmy Johnson calling Kyle one of the most talented drivers he has ever shared the track with, and guys who would line up next to Kyle weekly. Denny Hamlin encouraging thoughts for the Busch family. Kyle Larson, along with many others, sharing photos. A lot of these names you're seeing, they're here in Charlotte getting ready for the race weekend through Coca-Cola 600, including Joey Logano, who shared some of his thoughts with WCNC earlier tonight.
You know, Kyle and I have been tough competitors, right? We didn't see eye to eye on everything, but there was a mutual respect for each other's talents and what he's been able to do in our sport. I mean, the bottom line is he is one of the best drivers to ever sit in a race car. And he impacted our sport in so many ways. You know, such a huge personality. It's a really big reminder of how fragile life is. Because honestly, I mean, he won the race last week, or he won the truck race last week, and you know, this week we don't have Kyle anymore, and I'm shell shocked. I don't even know really what to say.
So many messages from across the sport with the same shared feeling that writing messages like the ones we saw don't feel real, despite the NASCAR world having dealt with tragedy too many times at this point. In the studio, Danielle Stein, WCNC Charlotte.
And Danielle, thank you so much. And yeah, we talked about his impact on the fans. We can tell you, as we speak, there are fans at the track right now ahead of the Coca-Cola 600, and they are shocked as well. And they're remembering tonight this two-time NASCAR Cup champion. WCNC Charlotte Siobhan Riley is joining us right now live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. After, Siobhan, we saw you speaking with folks who were there at the track today. We saw some tears in eyes. We saw folks taking a look at that tribute on the Jumbotron. What's the mood like right now?
Vanessa, just a sad day for so many people we spoke with. As you said, we saw people crying. Everyone was coming by to look at this photo, and they say they still cannot believe he's gone. The communications director here at Charlotte Motor Speedway says there will be a tribute to Kyle Busch this weekend for the Coca-Cola 600, but details are limited. Meantime, people are saying they are upset that he died. Fans gathered at the merchandise area outside Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday, a familiar spot before any major race weekend. But this time the atmosphere felt completely different. The NASCAR community is now grieving the sudden death of Kyle Busch.
My son's a big race fan, and he grew up watching race with his dad and his grandfather. So he said that it hit him pretty hard. getting the news, you know? It was so unexpected.
We were walking through the trailer park over there, and we just started hearing, like, a guy came out of his RV, and he's like, "Hey, did you hear the news?" Because I have a Kyle Busch hat, and I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, we heard he wasn't racing this week," and he's like, "No, like, he passed." And I was like, our jaws hit the floor.
Charlotte Motor Speedway's Vice President of Communications, Jonathan Coleman, says it's difficult to imagine Coca-Cola 600 weekend without one of the sport's most recognizable drivers. The Speedway now plans to honor Busch's legacy, both on and off the field.
An opportunity really to kind of pay tribute to all that he meant to the sport, as Charlotte Motor Speedway's winningest driver across all 3 major series.
For many fans, the loss feels personal, especially for younger fans who grew up watching Busch race every weekend.
You hurt when your kid's hurting. Somebody that he looked up to and grew up watching is now, no longer with us anymore. And gearing up, he loves the race. We work the race every year, and getting to see the race fans, and it's going to be a much different 600.
He's had a huge impact, not just in NASCAR, but also to the greater Charlotte community. He and his wife started an organization that supports families that are fighting infertility. He has been a mentor and a coach, not just to his son Brexton, but to a lot of young drivers that are looking to come up and be the next big star in NASCAR.
He certainly leaves behind quite a legacy, and we did get a chance to ask officials out here if they had an opportunity to speak with the family. They said they learned about his passing through NASCAR, but have not spoken with the family at this time. They wanted to give them their privacy. Back to you.
Siobhan, thank you so much. Well, we can tell you this weekend marks the first time in more than a decade that we will not see Busch at a Cup Series race. The last time was in 2015 when he missed 11 races while recovering from a leg fracture and a broken foot after a crash in Daytona, and he went on to be the Cup Series champion that season. The 41-year-old, as we mentioned, was widely considered one of the best NASCAR drivers of all time. He won 234 races across the sport's 3 national series. It's more than any other driver in history. He also won 63 Cup Series races and was a 2-time Cup Series champion, as we mentioned, winning most recently in 2019. Now, as far as his backstory, too, Busch is the younger brother of fellow NASCAR driver Kurt Busch. He married his wife, Samantha, in 2010. They have a son who was born in 2015, a daughter born in 2022. And Kyle founded the Kyle Busch Foundation to help underprivileged kids across the country. And he and his wife have also been very open about their fertility struggles. They started, in fact, the Bundle of Joy Fund in 2015 to help other families going through the same struggle. And back that year, Kyle and his wife Samantha sat down with us to share their story. So we want to take you back now to some of our WCNC Charlotte archives of that story. Like many couples, they say they needed help. Samantha was diagnosed with what was called, until recently, PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. They went through daily injections, documenting it all on social media in hopes their story would help others. And at the time, Kyle told us he could not wait until their baby was born.
The little man is what we call him, and seeing the heartbeat and all that for the first time, like I was just like,
yeah.
I was just staring at the screen, like everything's running through your mind, like what's gonna change? My life's gonna change, holy crud, what do I gotta do now? But it's been really good, it's been really fun, and I think what's really gonna be cool, obviously, is when he gets here and we get to hold him.
So yeah, their son Brexton was born that year. Their daughter Lennox was born in 2022, and Bundle of Joy has been recognized by the White House, including most recently in October when Samantha Busch visited the Oval Office to talk about their work. And we're also hearing tonight from fans outside the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Our Tradisha Woodard found out how folks are remembering a driver who was widely expected to be a guaranteed future inductee there in those halls.
I'm still having trouble comprehending it.
It's been pretty quiet here outside the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Uptown. No large crowds, just a few fans walking by, taking in the news that Kyle Busch is gone.
And I wanted to walk by the Hall of Fame today because he will no doubt be a Hall of Famer.
One fan says he didn't have plans to come here tonight, but he felt like he needed to reminisce about the driver he grew up watching.
Kyle Busch was one of the first drivers I rooted for in my career.
They say Busch was one of NASCAR's most recognizable figures and the kind of driver who never raced conservatively.
He's been in a couple scuffles here and there with other drivers, what makes it interesting.
Fans also quoting a famous line they say he was known for saying.
And he said, "You never know which one's going to be your last."
Words that now feel harder to hear.
It's really hard to think that that was his last one.
As they looked up at the NASCAR Hall of Fame building, they say they have no doubt about what comes next for his legacy.
He's making it into the Hall of Fame from what I know. Hopefully we'll see something in there for him eventually.
Remembering not just a driver, but a piece of NASCAR's history.
No matter if you liked him or you didn't like him, he did so much for the sport.
Jordisha Woodard reporting once again, and you kind of heard the fans alluding to this. On the racetrack, Busch was an incredibly polarizing driver, but his competitiveness always earned the respect of other drivers. Just hours ago on our live Impact stream, we had broadcaster Nick Yeoman with Performance Racing Network joining us, and he discussed how his peers were reacting to this shocking passing.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an outpouring of support for his family. I mean, his wife Samantha and their kids. So it's obviously a lot of that, but you're also seeing, a lot of drivers saying exactly how they felt and how much they admired and respected that guy. 234 wins across NASCAR's top 3 series. So it's a lot of respect being shown, but I think right now it's also fresh that I think everybody this entire sport and industry is stunned by this.
We'll have much more of tributes and reflections from the community in just moments here on this newscast. We just want to let folks know that we're so grateful for everyone who joined us on our Live Impact stream throughout the evening as we stream continuously any new details we are getting on the Busch situation and folks leaving those tributes, the reflections, the insights we got from all those folks who are close to the racing community. So make sure that you add us wherever you do like to stream so you can stay up to date on breaking stories just like this when they happen.